That's why I take a tractor home with me every night. Well, I'll try to walk around and get a little bit of everything. I mean, I like them all, but I prefer the Cub Cadet. I'm really looking for one of these, you know, the Power King and the Economy tractors. Really try to find one of those. I found a few, but they loved it more than I did, so I don't own it. There's several around. There's another one right there. Economy. It's got some modified stuff. You know, using wheel horse parts and whatnot. And called a Wizard. Another wheel horse. I don't know. That's like some Kmart special. Somebody modified. Kind of cool. John Deere. Another wheel horse. There's another Economy. That's probably Simplicity. Jacobson, which is, you know, guy's got some cock shut scaled down implements. And this is basically a Cub Cadet wide frame modified. Kind of cool. Big Massey Ferguson. 64 Bolins. Case. And Cub 125, that's what I got sitting out on that pallet out at my shop. As soon as I get it done. Here's a 682. Mine's a 582, which is all manual. This is a 682, which is manual lift with hydrostat drive, and then the 782's hydrostat lift and hydrostat drive. Then you had the 882, which is all hydro, but it has the Kubota diesel engine. 982 has the 18 horse Magnum Kohler engine. That's a SpeedX. Old timer down the road from me used to deal in these. He said when they would deliver these tractors to in the back of a pickup, like a stake bed truck, he said they just throw them off they'd roll them right off the truck, and they'd bounce and they'd roll them over and set them out there for sale. That's another kind of a hard find. It was the SpeedX. Alice Chalmers. No clue. This was probably sold by a department store or something. McLean Husky. Universal Manufacturing Company, Indianapolis, Indiana. Jacobson Chief. No clue. A little Ford 120, and that might be like an old trencher or something. It's got the word cast 801018. It's all over it. There's some Bantons. I know where one of these is setting, and the guy said I could have it for like $400, but it's all, I don't know if it's all there. I don't know enough about them, but it's all tore apart in a bunch of pieces. These things are little. I mean, there's my foot. I mean, that's little tiny things. I think I'm missing a whole bunch here. And Sears Suburban. There's another Sears. Yeah, Cub Lowboy. 154 model. International gas engine. Old Yanmar, probably from the 80s. Little homemade jobby here. This is going to be my next find. Get me a Farmall Cub. I want one a little newer though. This is probably 50s, maybe 60s. Yeah, he doesn't even know what year it is, but I'm going to say it's 50s. I'm going to try to find one from, boy, the honey wagon went by. Holy crap, he's sucking out the little blue rooms. Yep, smells like a sewage plant. Minneapolis molding. I'd say they modified that front end sometime. Yeah, because the guys that modify these, that make that narrow front end, they actually use an axle tube from a John Deere tractor, an older one. Some more Sears stuff. Like a grader and a blade, flips over. There's a front end bucket. Probably manual dump. And I know like the blue ones and the white ones and red, those are like some kind of anniversary model. I haven't been into it enough, not on the John Deere's, to know, but I know that you can get that seat in red and I think another color. There might be some here. Old John Deere 110 round fender. So this is probably a 61 or a 62. Well, 62 or 63. Everybody, Cub Cadet made its appearance first before the John Deere got into the garden tractors. So that's a 66. Cub Cadet started in 61, and I think John Deere was 62 or late 61. Bunch of Massey Fergusons. I've had a few of these, just not really a fan. I don't like the belt drive stuff, you know, so that's why you really don't see this stuff in the garden tractor pulls. If they do have a Massey Ferguson, they're on a Cub Cadet frame. That way they have a drive shaft and a better rear end. Hydraulic lift. Pretty neat. See, there's tractors everywhere. I'm just going through the garden tractor stuff for right now. Case 1 for 444. That should be a 446, I think. Yeah. Yeah, 78, 446 case. Another Massey. Walk through these Masseys right here, and I missed a bunch of John Deeres. A couple more round fenders. I had 2 of these. Got them really super cheap, and some guy in Indianapolis bought them. Gave me crazy money for them. They didn't even run. Round fender with a little loader. I don't know what brand that is. I'm sure this loader here is like one you would buy out of a farm implement magazine back in the day. I forget it's a Johnson loader. Yeah. Another little round fender with a sickle bar mower. '66 model. Wheel weights. Rained like crazy yesterday. John Deere. Little homemade jobby with a 2-horse. I'm sure it's a wheel horse frame all stretched out. It's got a hit and miss engine. It's an economy. You had these just all over the farm back in the day, ran pumps and whatever. And this guy here is kind of set up to ice cream. And 147 Cub. That'd be a good parts tractor for me. And then you got this monstrosity. It's Cub 129. It's got a few modifications. He'll start it up later, I'm sure. It's loud as shit. Got a crazy drive shaft. I don't know if I'd have done that or not. Bolt on yoke, square bar. Boy, if that's out of balance, plus that shit ass weld that's on that 10 plate flywheel. Jeez. Or the pulley, that starter, that's just a starter pulley. That'd be scary. That come apart, that hurt. And another little John Deere 165 Hydro over there. Here's one of these little floaty things, I think. A Wisconsin air-cooled engine. Okay, the wheels on that's just on the inside. Got a blade. I think there's a couple of those hover mowers around here somewhere that you start it up and then it would just hold up, float across the ground when it's running. Alright, I'm going to walk back over to the other side. Love that. And that looks just like my Simplicity. I got a 65 or 1964 101 Landlord, which is actually hard to find. The 65s you can find all day long, but the 64 you can't. 318. Got a few weights on the front of it. Dual brakes, dual lift, power steering. I think 318 is also a diesel, I think. There's an old 104. Old Brindley planter. Got a little disc. Yeah. These are hard to find. I like that 318. I think that's an Onan engine, I think. It's a twin, Onan twin, I think, pretty sure. Little Polar. The adjustable hitch on it. Weights in the rear. There's weights down in there. One-man horsepower. Still got the Fords up here to go through. Oh, down this line. And this right here where the canopy's at. These three are mine. Morning.
Good morning.
Moto Mower. Those are hard to find. This one's, I don't know what the deal is with this. It's got a hydro lift on it, but this model doesn't have the hydro lift. But it looks like he has a power steering pump up here bolted in. The pulley's running off the belt, off the starter pulley. Bigger belt. And he's got the control here. And then there's the cylinder. Runs back here between the tires and the frame. So if that's a homemade jobby, that's pretty cool. And got a little radio on it. Yeah, I've got some Fords here. There's another Speed X right down here. 1966, for sale. Huh. That's like a high crop. It's got the gear reduction and the axles. That's a gearbox right there. Reduces it down. And you got the pulleys over here spinning this little gearbox for your gear selection. Chain drive back to here, which reduces that even more to give it a lot of torque. Alright, we'll go down that way and then back down around the front. I had a Ford tractor when I was, well, maybe 10 to 12 years old, and it was a hydrostat, all on the pedal. I don't remember what model it was or anything. Mowed a lot of yards with it. I mean, nothing here even looks familiar from what I had. And then later, there's a dyno right there. We'll get some video of that later. Tractors will hook up to it, and then they'll get their horsepower from the PTO. All right. Well.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
We welcome you to the third big day of the 23rd annual reunion of the Greenville Farm Power of the Past. We will have opening ceremonies at 9 a.m., a little under 15 minutes from now. If you'd like to see and be here, it's at the rest tent along the South Drive. Tractor owners. The tractor cruise is set to begin, I believe, at 10:30, and they are already down there, and right after opening ceremonies, they will be taking registration. If you are a member, the cost is $10. If you're a non-member, the cost is $15. You must be able to go at least 12 miles an hour, and I understand that UTVs will also be allowed this year. It's about a 2-hour trip through rural Darke County. So, lots of people do go on this, and it continues to grow each year.
Well, that was a 30-minute video, so I'll probably just break that off there, and the next video will be out. I'll try to break up the tractors, and they tried to keep everything into its brands and names and stuff. So
God looked down on his planned paradise.
there's a lot of them out there, but I'll try to get through them.
So God made a farmer.
All right, guys. Yeah,
God said, I need
I'll
someone willing to
see you in the next video.